Hello everyone, in this do-it-yourself video we are going to make this skirt. I have worn this skirt already in one of my outfit of the day videos. It was my birthday outfit and the link to the video is in the info. This is how the shape looks like. You need two of those pieces that you're going to put together. This is for the belt and we're going to put a rubber band in the belt. This is folded in the middle. And this is an old IKEA curtain which I'm gonna use for the upper layer. So there is a formula for the radius you're gonna need in the info below the video that you're gonna use. And first thing, I'm going to measure the rubber band. I'm going to put it around my waist and make sure that it doesn't cut in, that it feels comfortable. And I'm going to add about ½ an inch and cut it. And the second thing, what you need to do is to measure the widest place around your waist at about, I don't know, like a few inches. I would say like 2 inches, and try if you would be still able to pull the skirt down. And this is the measurement that you need to add to the formula below the video in order to be sure which radius you're going to have while you cut the fabric to the shape you've seen. This is the upper radius. Then you also need to decide how long the skirt is supposed to be, and this is what you're gonna measure from the radius. And all you need to do is then cut the pieces of fabric and put them together later. Here you see I placed the two lower skirt parts on the curtain, and I'm going to cut it a bit longer because what I want is that the organza, the curtain fabric, is a little bit longer than the lower skirt. And also I'm going to cut out a piece for the belt. This is going to be the same size like the black part. And what I want is that the black part is inside, and on the top, just at the skirt, the belt has also the purple fabric. So first thing first, I need to put together the lower skirt. I'm going to pin it together, and then I turn on my machine and sew it together. Once I'm done, I'm going to do the same thing with the two pieces for the upper skirt. You need to decide which sewing pattern you're going to use. It depends on the type of fabric. In this case, I need something that is really tight because otherwise the fabric would come apart since it's very thin. What I have done with the rim of the upper skirt was just to burn the rim instead of making a hem, but you can always do that too. You can, just put on it some lace or whatever, but I decided this should look imperfect, so I just made sure that the length is correct at all places, and then I took a kitchen lighter and broiled the rim because that made sure that the fabric won't come apart and that there will be no strings hanging from the rim. And if you're a child, then you should make sure that there is an adult, and only at your own risk, be very careful, it's still fire. So now I have both parts of the skirt and I'm going to put them together at the actually end of the upper radius, or how would you call it? It's just the upper rim. I put in pins and then I'm going to sew it again through because it's much easier to work with it further when those two pieces are set together. The next step was sewing together the two fabric layers of the belt because that will make the work also easier. So I just put a few pins in it and make sure that all those that those both pieces are sewn together before I continue. Once I've done that, it's much easier to work further. I'm going to fold the belt, and you can see now the pins. Between those two upper pins I will not sew through, because this is the place where I'm going to pull the rubber band through, but I'm going to sew through the last ½ inch so that it's also easier to work with. So you can clearly see there is just a little part sewn together at the end and a little bit bigger part in the second half. And it's much easier when you see it than when I explain it, because it's always difficult to put those things in words. What I'm gonna do now is to take the belt, and one side will be pinned on the upper part of the skirt. Also, I put in the needles so that I'm still going to be able to sew through. It's much easier. You have to be sure that the parts are really equally put together, because this fabric is really slippery, and this is the direction how the needles are supposed to be in. Now the belt is sewn on one end. I'm going to fold it now in the middle, and I'm going to leave about ½ inch a little bit longer on the inner side and fold it also at the end, and make sure that the skirt also looks nice from the other side. Again, in a few seconds you're gonna see what I mean. It's always easier to see it than to explain for me, especially since English is not my mother tongue. I kind of struggle with some terms, but I hope you guys understand. And also I'm going to put the needles in so that I can still sew through them without breaking them or breaking the needle of my sewing machine. So here you go, again the direction, and I'm going to go through so that it's like, I don't know, it's in European measurement like 4 millimeters. I have no idea what it is in inches, but you can clearly see how far I'm sewing through. Next step is to pull in the rubber band. And before you sew the rubber band through and close the hole that you left for being able to put the band in, it is always the best thing to put the skirt on and make sure that you can comfortably pull it down and put it on without, you know, having some troubles, and also that it is not too loose around your waist. That would also not look great. And once you have the right measurement of the band, you can sew it together, and then you can close the hole that you put it through. I find it very helpful to sew through the belt also on the sides. Just, you know, 2 kind of like stripes, it's enough. And that helps me. I mean, I'm sewing it vertically through, and that helps me that the rubber band doesn't turn around when I'm putting the skirt on and off. And that's about it. This is the whole thing. This is how you make the skirt, and you can see it now again while I'm wearing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to leave a comment or a thumb up. If you're not a subscriber here yet, take a minute if you want to look at my playlist. Maybe you're gonna find something you wanna come back to, and I would be happy if you subscribe. And also don't forget to check the info below the video, where I put you the links to my webpage with online shop, Facebook page, and also Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. It's always great to see you guys, and see you next time. Bye!